Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio MLB Closing Time Show. It is Tuesday, September 7th. Ian Cameron, Conor Mack with you, ready to break down the Tuesday MLB card. The show is not being sponsored by Red Lobster, even though my face may disagree with that. It is time for the it is time for the MLB show. Yes, we got a little burnt from the UV rays and the sunshine at Tim Hortons Field yesterday. Word of advice: even if it's not going to be hot and humid, make sure you put some damn sunscreen on your face before you go out, and you know you're going to be in a place where the sun's going to be out of the clouds the whole day in front, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. So yeah, we got the lobster tan going today on this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. But the good news is, I had a great time. We got a little beer. We had a little a proper 12 whiskey from Conor McGregor. That stuff is you gotta be prepared for that stuff if you're going to have it. But yeah, we had some of that. Got a little shit faced, but boy, it was a fun time at the football game yesterday. The hometown team won. They played great, and it was a good day overall. But let's talk about baseball now. We've got a Tuesday betting card to break down. Let's get to it. We'll start with the Minnesota Twins and Cleveland. John Gant, Aaron Savali, the pitching matchup here. Cleveland minus 130, home favorites 10.5 total in this game. John Gant is definitely, we've talked about it, that earlier in the season his numbers were, he was out pitching what his numbers were. We knew this guy wasn't really going to be pitching to a 2 or 3 ERA all year when his FIP and his xFIP and his metrics don't align with that whatsoever. And he has definitely come back down to earth and been hit hard by the regression train, I guess you could say here. July and into August, he's really struggled. He's gone 6 straight starts now where he's been winless, going back to his final few starts with the Cardinals. And then he's 0-3 starting as a member of the Twins here. So it's been a really, really bad run here for John Gant taking on this Cleveland team. I don't think he's someone I trust here to pitch well. Cleveland, a team that is actually played some competitive ball. They're 5-3 in their last 8 games. They swept Kansas City on the road. They lost 2 or 3 to Boston, but they were competitive in most of those games. They lose 5-2 in the opener. I would lean to Cleveland a little bit here to bounce back. Now, the only concern I have with Savali is he hasn't pitched in a couple months. He's returning from the injured list, but prior to that, he was actually having a pretty solid year overall for Cleveland at a 3.32 ERA overall prior to the injury, 3.28 home ERA, 12-3 record for Cleveland with Savali on the mound this year, 5-2 in his 7 home starts. So they've been doing a good job winning with him on the mound. And on the flip side, the Twins have not been winning with John Gant on the mound. So I'm leaning Cleveland first 5 full game at this current price. Conor Mack, anything here you like? Twins and Cleveland.
Yeah, Twins have won a little bit lately, but yeah, not with Gant starts. Yeah, his last start was okay, though, against, the Cubs. They went 5 innings, only gave up 2 runs. I talk about it all the time. I don't love guys coming off the IL. Savali's done that. But all year he's pitched well at home. And even on the road, he's been decent. His record's 10-3. He's been solid. I lean the Indians with him on the mound here. I lean over. The wind's blowing out. But I don't love it. I had the over yesterday. I thought the Indians, they couldn't hit a lick. It's tough, when you're struggling on it in September, screaming for the Indians to score a few runs. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to pass on this game. But I lean Indians and over if I had a bet.
Yeah, the over definitely, especially with Gant struggling, I lean over. But boy, 10, and Savali's a capable pitcher. Now, will he be strong in his first start back in a while is always the question when you're talking about a guy coming off the injured list. But prior to that injury, he was pitching well. So that's why I'm a little reluctant to bet an over with a total that high, just thinking Savali might pitch well. Detroit and Pittsburgh, we've got Willie Peralta, Dylan Peters, the pitching matchup. Pretty much even money here, minus 110 both sides. 9 the total in this one, shaded to the under. Willie Peralta for the Tigers, who has been, kind of shocking when we first saw him show up in this rotation. He's not going to give you much length. If definitely you're going to see plenty of Tigers bullpen. That's been the norm with Peralta on the mound. His last 6 starts, he's given you 3.1, 4.2, 5, 4.1, 6, 4 innings in his last 6 starts. He's just not giving you any sort of length whatsoever, and he's basically given up 2, 3, 4, 5 runs, something in that vicinity in every start. We'll see if he can neutralize this Pirates team. It should be a step down in class when you look at the fact Peralta's faced Oakland, he's faced Toronto, he's faced Cleveland, he's faced Boston. He's faced some good lineups, and Pittsburgh ain't that. So I actually think he could go in here and pitch relatively decently early on. Dylan Peters on the mound for the Pirates into this start with a 3.07 ERA. He's actually not been that bad himself going into this outing tonight. So we'll see how he fares. The one concern for Peters tonight for me would be the fact that the Tigers have been the stronger side for them has been lefty pitching as opposed to righties. And in the last 10 games, they're averaging 356, 6 runs per game against lefties, 356 team batting average, 387 on base percentage, which is nearly a full percentage point higher than it is against righties. So Tigers have really done well against lefties. I'd lean Detroit a little bit here. First 5 full game. I always say the National League pitcher against an American League lineup, I always think could be a little bit of a step up in class for them. And even for a guy like Dylan Peters, who's pitching to an ERA just above 3, I think he's definitely a guy that might struggle a little bit against an AL lineup that hits lefties pretty well. So again, the question is, what do you get out of Peralta? But I'd lean Tigers a little bit first 5 full game, maybe also a lean to the first 5 and full game over as well, because just Peralta, you're always never quite sure if he's going to shut the door. But I think the Tigers could be able to score a little bit off Peters. I lean Tigers in this one in the over. What do you think here, C-Mac, Detroit, Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we'll see with Dylan Peters. I mean, basically Milwaukee and then 2 starts with the Cardinals. So we haven't seen him against anyone else. I had the Tigers yesterday. Tigers struggle with the Pirates, it seems like, all the time. This team has a tough time beating the Pirates over the last few years. As I looked at it. And they lost yesterday when they were up 3-2. You got to trust Peralta. He's been pretty good, though. I take the Tigers at this price. Here I am talking about it. I can't beat the Pirates, but I'd be right back on the Tigers. They hit lefties. Peters, even though he's pitched well, like I talked about, it's just been against the Cardinals. 2 starts there in Milwaukee. So I'd be on the Tigers here. Nothing on the total. I'd lean under if I had to. Pittsburgh in that park. It seems like they stay under. And if you want to look at it, can the Pirates score? They scored 6 late. Can they dare you to score 5 runs? I lean towards their team total under 4.5. You just got Peralta on the mound. Can he do it? We know the Pirates at times can't score, but I thought their team total under 4.5 minus 130 was intriguing as well a little bit.
All right, next game up, we've got Mets taking on the Marlins. Carlos Carrasco and Edward Cabrera, your pitching matchup in this one. We've got the Mets minus 170 road favorites at Marlins Park. 7.5 is the total in this game. Carlos Carrasco for the Mets. We're waiting to see if he's going to start turning things around. Progression, I guess, in his last couple starts. I would say he's pitched a little bit better at least. It's not quite the struggles that he had, in the earlier part of August when, he was getting ripped by the Nationals and the Dodgers hit him around pretty good. The last couple starts, just 2 runs allowed in 7 strong innings against the Giants, and then 3 runs, 4 hits, 5.1 innings in his last start against the Marlins. So very interesting matchup here because you look at Carrasco, he's just faced the Marlins on September 2nd, 5 days ago, and Edward Cabrera just faced the Mets twice toward the end of August and gave up 6 runs in 10.1 innings in those 2 starts. So kind of struggled in both of those outings. We'll see how this one goes. I'm probably going to pass on this game overall. I think Cabrera's got pretty solid, decent stuff, but he's got to harness it, look to be consistent, start in and start out. And he's, still, working toward being a more consistent pitcher, but he's got good stuff. He can throw hard. He's got good movement, got good off-speed pitches to go with that, hard throwing style. He can vary it up, which is nice to see. Maybe he can keep the Mets off balance here. We'll see. I'm going to pass on this game, but just as a general rule, not am I ever rushing to lay about $1.75 on the road with the Mets. So I guess if I were to bet the side at this price, I'd lean Marlins, but probably going to stay off it because remember I took Cabrera against the Mets recently, and it didn't exactly go well for him in that last start that he made against the Miami or against the New York Mets. So we'll see how he fares in this one. What do you think here, Conor, Mets Marlins?
Yeah, I've been looking at this one a lot. Obviously, Cabrera just faced him August 31st, went 4 innings, 7 hits, gave up 3. I'd only be on the Marlins, look that side. It's tough just to lay, on the road, this big price with the Mets. I mean, you're going to have to take them run line, and you're only get even money. I just couldn't do that. It'd be Marlins or pass. First fives plus 140. Their bullpen's been pretty good, though. You could go full game. I even looked at the Marlins team total. Carrasco has been better his last few starts, but you trust him on the road. But the Marlins got to score, and they struggle at times. So that's why it's difficult for me. This one is one of the last ones kind of I'm looking at on the card. I think there's a little bit of value with the Marlins. I just don't know if I get to the window here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I lean Marlins, but I'm going to probably end up staying away. 88 live viewers, hit the like button. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. And a reminder, coming up on the channel tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, and this is going to be every Tuesday night during the NFL football season. It is a early look ahead to the NFL card every week. Beat the Line with our guy, Jimmy the Bag, and his good buddy, his good friend, NFL bettor, knows the NFL well. Good stand-up comedian as well, if you've ever seen him perform. Bebsy, Rob Bebenick will be joining Jimmy the Bag on that Beat the Line show Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. I'll be watching, actually. I might even join in the chat a little bit during that show tonight in the chat room and place a couple comments and some thoughts that I have on the NFL card as well. So it's a good show. They break down every game, lots of different angles. So get you ready for the NFL card each and every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern right here. Jimmy the Bag and Bebsy. Beat the Line right here on Pub Sports Radio. We're trying to beat the books right now with this baseball card. So let's keep on going. Kansas City and Baltimore. Jackson Kovar on the mound for the Royals tonight. And it looks like it is going to be Wells giving way to he's going to be the opener, but Mike Baumann is going to be the primary pitcher after Alexander Wells opens the game here for the Orioles. We've got the Royals here, minus 115. Road favorites. The total is 10 across the board. Jackson Kovar, a guy that was terrible in his first couple starts early in the year as a member of this Royals team, is called back up here in the month of September, and he pitched a lot better. September 1st, 2 runs, 5 hits, 6 innings. Pretty solid start for him against Cleveland in that game. Most of the damage that Cleveland did came after he left the game. So he pitched a lot better. We'll see if he can keep it going here. Alexander Wells is going to be an opener here, and it's good he's only going to open because he's made 3 starts this year for the Orioles at the beginning of a game. He's pitched a total of 13.1 innings, and he's given up 13 runs in those 13.1 innings. So it's not been good for Alexander Wells going into this one here. I would lean Kansas City. I cashed with Kansas City yesterday. I also factored in that Baltimore was coming off that big series against the Yankees where they actually played pretty good, believe it or not, against the Yankees. Really give them credit. And I found like maybe they're going to fall off and fall flat, bounce a little bit after that Yankee series and maybe just, a little bit of a letdown. And that's exactly what happened. They lost to Kansas City yesterday in the opener. And there's no way I'm backing Wells. And Mike Baumann's going to be the primary pitcher. So that's the guy you're going to see probably mostly in the second, third inning and beyond in this game. He's going to be a long reliever kind of role. He has, basically a not great, shaky command, bad control and command at the AA and AAA level for Mike Baumann going into this outing. So that's not something I like to see when he's going to be making a long relief type of appearance here in this game. So I would only look to Kansas City here at this current number. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on the side here. Just bum teams here. I don't want anything to do with them. I lean over Kovar. One thing, he has pitched better those last 2 starts, but he walks people a lot. He got away with it too. He struck out 6, walked 3, but that's been his problem in AAA. Even he walks a ton of people, and that's not good. Orioles, can hit the jack some of these guys, so just wait around for the 3-run homer. I'm not rushing because it's a 10 to take the over. Wind's blowing out a little bit at Camden Yards 7. We know that park can kind of play overs. Orioles have a horrible bullpen. I'd only look over 10 here in this one.
All right, yeah, I wouldn't talk anyone.
First 5.
Yeah,
I just don't love the 5 in the hook. It's up to you if you want to get 6 there.
Yeah, these 2 pitchers certainly. I'd be looking over before under 10. They did fall short of the total yesterday, and that's the one that we'll have to wait and see if even if these 2 lineups can take advantage. But yeah, definitely pitchers I wouldn't trust. We got the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. Steven Matz, Garrett Cole, the pitching matchup. Yankees minus 230. Home favorites 8.5. The total here in this game. It's amazing how things can change in the course of a 162 game season. Yankees invincible, couldn't lose, 13 straight wins, and they've just been nothing but disappointing ever since that win streak got snapped. They're only 2-7 in their last 9 games, so they're not playing good baseball. They lose 2 or 3 at home to the Orioles. That ain't good. They lose 2 or 3 to the Angels on the road, a below 500 team. That's not good. They get absolutely trounced 8-0 yesterday by the Blue Jays in this series opener. You got issues right now with this Yankees team. I'm not ready to lay minus 230 with them. And we've waited for Toronto to finally put a win streak together. That's been something that really they've not been able to do at any point. An extended win streak, an extended run. Well, they're in the midst of one right now, 8-1, the Blue Jays in their last 9 games. The question is, though, do you trust Matz? And do you really want to go against Garrett Cole, who, look, is the guy that you would think would be the stopper here for the Yankees, put an end to this losing streak, help this team finally get back in the win column. And he was just marvelous in his last start against the Angels. 1 run, 4 hits, 7 innings. Before that, against Oakland, 6 hit shutout ball in 6 innings. Before that, 6 innings of 5 hit shutout ball against the Twins. So he has just been terrific in his last 4 starts. He's given up just a grand total of 2 runs in his last 24.2 innings of work. So this is obviously the guy you want on the mound here for the Yankees, but I'm not ready to lay minus 230 with this team. Garrett Cole can't get a bat, go to the plate, and hit for this team. And again, that's been the issue during this little funk. The offense has regressed. It's gone back to struggling to hit consistently game in and game out. Shut out by the Jays. There are a couple of those games against Baltimore, against bad pitching, that they only score 3 runs, 4 runs. They did break out to get 7 against Aiken and the Orioles in the finale, but still lost that game. So just things aren't clicking right now for the Yankees. I ain't laying this price with them. I'm probably not going to back Toronto, though, either, because you would think if this is the game, this is the guy on the mound, this is the guy to break them out of this little funk. If they're going to win a game here, this is the stopper here, Garrett Cole. But I'm telling you what, right now, what I will be looking to do is that maybe once Cole gets out of this game, live bet the Jays, because the Yankees bullpen's kind of struggled the last few days, and the Jays have been finding ways to win these late games and the Yankees haven't been. So that might be the way I approach it. Not so much a Jays bet pregame, but maybe a Jays live bet if the game is close still and it's still within striking distance for them, within reach after Cole leaves the game. What do you think here, Conor, Mac, Jays and Yankees?
Yeah, I think this is just too big of a price, obviously. I know Garrett Cole's been a lot better since he went away, since he's been back. But 230 and a Yankees team that, like you talked about, it's 2-7 or whatever they are since that win streak. I know the Blue Jays, a little bit of signs, hit a little bit, won a few games. I'm not a big Mats guy, but man, plus 200 just seems a little bit crazy here. I think you got to take a shot with them, either first 5 or full game. I maybe go full game. If you could get to that back end, Chapman coughs it up or somebody in that Yankees bullpen. So, and maybe they get to Cole early. He's pretty good against the Blue Jays. Hernandez is 4 for 10. 4 for 10 with a homer. He's got pretty good numbers against everyone else. Yankees have pretty good numbers. Stanton, 5 for 15, 2 jacks. Judge, 3 for 11. Rizzo, 3 for 8 with a homer. Pretty good numbers off Mats. I can never trust Matt, but I think this is a value spot. Just too big a price. And I'd also lean under. I don't know if I want to go first 5, 4.5, or full game, 8.5. So give me the Jays and look under in this one.
Ian, what was your Toronto Yankees pick? It's Toronto or nothing for me at this price. There's no way I would back the Yankees. Mats did shut down the Yankees, so maybe I'm talking myself more into Toronto. He did shut them down when he faced them earlier this year, back in May in Yankee Stadium, I believe, as well. He pitched very well against this Yankees team. So, yeah, I mean, at this price, it's Blue Jays or nothing. I'm probably going to opt to bet nothing pregame, but I would only look Toronto at plus 200 or better.
Matt scares me because Mats hasn't had kind of a bad game since July 28th, and it wasn't horrible. 3 1/3 against the Red Sox. So since then, he's been good. 0, he gave up 2, 0, 1, 1. Kind of struggled at Baltimore. He was okay. 5 innings, 2 runs. So a little leery of 6, 7 good starts with Steven Matz. The bomb could be coming, but you got to take it. I got to take the value here.
Yeah, the under definitely. I could see this being an under. I mean, I know the Jays got 8 runs yesterday, but Cole, I think, will keep them at least in check a little bit here today. And then on the flip side, I think the Yankees bats are cold now, and Mats might be able to hold them in check for a little bit as well. So the under, I would definitely lean. Jays and under, if I get involved, and I'm not sure I will yet. What do you? Let's see if we can keep it rolling here. We've got Tampa Bay and Boston. Drew Rasmussen, Eduardo Rodriguez pitching matchup in this AL East showdown here. Boston, pretty much even money, -110 on both sides. 9.5 is the total in this game. The Rays have had this little trajectory of being hit or miss against lefties we've seen of late. Yet overall, their numbers over the last 30 days in terms of batting average and on base percentage against lefties isn't that bad still. So, I do think they could have some good success here. I don't trust Eduardo Rodriguez to do what he did against the Rays just 5 days ago, where, 4-hit shutout ball in 6 innings, a good team, seeing him for the second time in 5 days. I think they've got to fare a little bit better here in this matchup. And even for Rasmussen, he faced the Red Sox September 1st, pitched well against them, 1 run, 3 hits, 4 innings. But you'd think there's some adjustments made for the Red Sox hitters against him going into this start. He has pitched very well. Eduardo's got a 5.69 ERA this season at Fenway Park. I like the over here a little bit, 9.5. I think it's going to be a better showing for the Rays here against Eduardo for the second time in 5 days. And I don't think we want to rule out the fact either that you look at the over trends. I mean, over is 8-1 in the last 9 at home for the Red Sox. These teams, especially here at Fenway, they've been just having one slugfest after another. 13 of the last 17 games have gone over between these teams in this ballpark. I think the Rays have a better approach tonight, make their adjustments against Eduardo, facing him now for the second time in 5 days. And I like Rasmussen too, don't get me wrong. But look, going from pitching against Boston and Tampa to now seeing them again, a good lineup 5 days later at Fenway, a much tougher venue and environment to pitch in. And I think there's going to be definitely a little bit more of a struggle for him against this Red Sox lineup. And look, the Red Sox are putting up runs right now. For the last 7 days, their lineup's been pretty good. So I like over 9.5 here in this one, Tampa and Boston. I was on the over yesterday with these two teams. I'm going to come back to it here. What do you think, Conor Mack?
Yeah, runs could get there. Yeah, Crystal Warren, Gallo, Torres, Gary Sanchez is not in the lineup either. So all that for the Yankees if you like the under a little bit. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I lean under. I was on them in that game last week, the Rays, with Rodriguez, and he pitched well. And he pitched well like 2 weeks before that. He only gave up 2 runs. I got to go back to the Rays again. They saved my ass yesterday. I thought there was value with them. They were getting their ass kicked early. I'm like, holy shit. Down 6-1. They came back and won 11-10. I just can't back the Red Sox here. So I'm on Tampa as well. I guess, yeah, I'd lean a little bit over. I'm going to stay off the total, but give me the Rays again.
Yeah, I lean Rays too. I mean, you're looking at this team right now where it's just the absences and the COVID-19 issues. They keep on rising. There's now like 6 position players that are out. For this team. I mean, look at all the relievers too. Hernandez, Barnes. It looks like Kike Hernandez might be eligible to return. That's the good news. But he's likely to be activated before the game tonight, so that they might get someone back. But still, you're dealing with Duran now, Bogarts, Danny Santana, the center fielder, Christian Arroyo. Robles is injured. Pavetta's now on the COVID list. I mean, they're a beaten up baseball team right now, largely because of the outbreak that's happened. And I'm not looking to back Boston right now. I took Cleveland, and by the way, it was a magical Sunday for me with the baseball 7-0 sweep. I didn't know it was still possible for me to have a sweep of the baseball board these days. How difficult it was, but Sunday was a great day. Yesterday, a little more up and down, but Cleveland was one of those games I took Sunday at betting against Boston. I lean Tampa here. I think I like the over, though, more than anything. In this one. Next up, we've got Washington and Atlanta. Paolo Espino, Max Fried, the pitching matchup. We've got the Braves -230, home favorites, 9 the total in this one, shaded to the under slightly. Paolo Espino for the Nationals, a guy that's throws hard, but is not always consistent, not always sometimes leaves the ball over the plate just a bit too much. We'll see if he can shore that up. The last 2 starts, he has been better. For the Nationals, 3 runs in his last 10.1 innings, one of those against Philly, the other against the Mets. Now he's going to match up against probably a little bit better lineup here, the Atlanta Braves. We'll see how he fares in it. He didn't fare well when he faced them in last month. 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 innings, struggled. Got hit around pretty good and gave up 3 home runs as well. Espino in that game against Atlanta. Max Fried for the Braves in this one. He's been terrific for the last 6 starts, essentially. 7 starts, in fact, going back to the end of July. He's been really good for this Braves team. He's given up 2 runs or less in 6 of the last 7 starts that he has made. The Atlanta Braves are an impressive 5-1 in his last 6 starts, so they've been winning with him on the mound. Obviously deserving favorites here, Atlanta, but obviously priced out of my range, so I won't be on Atlanta. Could this game maybe be an over? Maybe, because of the fact I think Atlanta can have success. What does Washington do against Fried? Because Fried's form's great. Fried has been hit around by the Nationals, though, in the past. And the Nationals do hit lefties usually better. But I like the form of Fried too much that I don't think I'm going to touch that over, and probably won't get involved in this game at all when it's all said and done. So it's a pass for me. Lean over the total. What do you think here, Connor Mack? Washington, Atlanta.
Yeah, that kind of was in the past because those back-to-back starts, August 8th and 14th, went both 6 innings, gave up 1 run, 1 earned, 2 in one of them. But I think this is too big of a price. Braves, leave Coors Field, come back home, minus 230 with Fried, got to fade him. I'm taking the Nationals first 5 plus 200. Too much value against the lefty. They've seen Fried enough. And this is a lot when I take the Nationals team total only against lefties. You just brought it up. So I think there's value. I know Espino, you got to deal with him. Hopefully you can get outs. And Max Fried, I always talk about the key, that first inning where he can be shaky, and he's cost me at times. So maybe the Nats jump on him. I think this price is too big. So Nats first 5. And I'd also look under a little bit, first 5. They're hanging a 5. I think that might be a little bit too high. So first 5 under here. Shout out Tony Cobbs, $5 dono. Let's go, my guy. Appreciate it. Choo, choo.
Dono, appreciate baby. It. Yep, we appreciate it, Tony Cobbs. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. You've donated a ton. It's not necessary, but, man, we appreciate it very much. Thank you again, Tony. We appreciate it. We are glad you're enjoying the show each and every day, and we enjoy doing it as well. Next up, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers. Aaron Nola and Nola for the Phillies. And we've got Eric Lauer, the surprisingly effective lefty here for the Milwaukee Brewers, who's done a very nice job for them. Minus 115 home favorites are the Brewers, 8.5 the total in this one. Didn't really see I certainly thought Wheeler and the Phillies could have had a chance to win yesterday, but I didn't see them absolutely pummeling the Brewers like that. 12-0 victory for this red hot Phillies team that, to be honest, 8-2 in their last 10 games. They played very, very strong, and now they've got Nola on the mound, although Nola's not been the Nola we've become accustomed to in the past. 4.54 ERA this year. On the road, he's had his issues. 5.57 ERA, 6-9 in his 15 road starts for this Phillies team. And on the other side, you've got Eric Lauer and his 3.22 ERA. I've been shocked he's been this impressive. Absolutely, that's the case. But you definitely have to give him credit for how well he's pitched here for this Brewers team. And look, in his last 10 games, it's even more impressive for Eric Lauer, where he has a 2.10 ERA last 10 starts for this Brewers team. So he's been terrific. Nola, of course, we talk about how he struggled a little bit on the road. That's always been definitely something that concerns you a little bit. And after the Brewers got absolutely walloped last night in that game, I think you're going to see them really wanting to bounce back here. But again, keep in mind, still some key bats out of the lineup. Yelich will be in the lineup tonight for them, but it looks like still no Willy Adames in the lineup for the Brewers. And obviously he's been one of the catalysts here in this Brewers lineup as of late. So not having him hurts, not having Avisail Garcia as well potentially for this game tonight. So a couple of key bats might be out again, but you would think the Brewers come back strong after just getting whipped yesterday by this Phillies team. So, and I definitely do not trust Nola here on the road against a team that I think's got something to prove after a pretty embarrassing home loss. So the kind of loss that hasn't happened very often to this Brewers team this year. So this price, it would be a lean to the Brewers here. First 5 full game split. Even the full game might be the preferred route because the one bullpen that we usually can trust, if there's any bullpen you can trust other than maybe Tampa Bay's, it's Milwaukee's. They do have one of the better bullpens in baseball, and certainly trust them more than the Philadelphia bullpen. So first 5 full game, and I probably might put more of the bet on the full game for me with the Brewers tonight. What do you think here, Connor Mack?
Shout out Kenny V.
Train is off and running. Thomas the Tank Engine. We got him working today. Thank you guys like Kenny V and Tony Cobbs. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, here we go. We got Nola on the mound. Yeah, Aaron A. Hell yeah. I'm glad you cashed. Rangers 2 days in a row. First time all year, I think, took the Rangers. Plus money. Back-to-back days, winners. Phillies kicked ass yesterday. I can't back Nola on the road. I just can't do it. Adames is out. It looks like Garcia's in. That's the confirmed lineup that I have. Everyone else looks like it's a good to go. I'm going to be on the Brewers. I know the Phillies have been hot as shit, but I don't trust their bullpen. I'll go full game. I think the Brewers have the better bullpen. After getting their ass kicked, I think they come back and win this one. I just don't love Nola on the road. One guy who's ripped Lauer, my guy, Andrew McCutchen, 7 for 11 with 2 jacks. So maybe jack of the day guy, Andrew McCutchen off Lauer, though.
Yeah, definitely. The numbers back that up that he has had some success against Lauer, but a different Lauer now. That's for sure. He's been really good with this Brewers team this year. Reds and Cubs now. We've got Wade Miley and Adrian Sampson, the pitching matchup in this one. Reds minus 145 to minus 150. Road favorites. The total 9, 9.5, depending on where you look here in this one. When you look at Wade Miley, it's sometimes you see this from pitchers now as we go into the final month of the year that maybe they're starting to show signs of fatigue. Maybe they're starting to wear down a little bit. That was alarming from Wade Miley, the last start, because he's had a very good year overall, and he hasn't had many outings where he's just been absolutely crushed. And he had one against St. Louis in his last start. 5 runs, 12 hits, 4 innings of work. It does concern me a little bit, who is he, wearing down? Is the innings are adding up certainly for him? And he's been one of those guys that has truly given the Reds some length in terms of their starting rotation this year. But is he starting to wear down a little bit? It's the question mark for him. Adrian Sampson making a spot start here for the Chicago Cubs. 1.59 ERA this year's actually got good numbers, although in limited work since being part of this Cubs team. He made one start against the Reds. It was against this same Reds team. 1 run, 5 hits, and 4 innings when he faced them in that start back on August the 18th. So he did pitch relatively well. The question is, will he pitch better? And will he find a way to keep it up here and pitch once again quite well against this Reds team is the question mark here. I'd be a little bit hesitant to lay the wood with the Reds on the road, because when you see a guy that's rolling along, having a good year like Miley, and then you see a start where not only does he struggle, but he gets crushed. Like, that wasn't just, a little bit of a rough start. That was him getting walloped, in that last start. 5 runs, 12 hits. And, the Cubs, for a team that's out of the playoffs and they couldn't win a game for the longest time, all of a sudden, here's this Cubs team. Now you can pick and nitpick about the schedule, facing the Twins and the Pirates to get all these wins. But they come in here riding momentum of a 7-game win streak. They won the opener yesterday against the Reds. So I wouldn't be looking to go against that right now. And like I say, there's some red flags to me with Wade Miley, that you just all of a sudden are having this great year and you go from a great model of consistency to getting ambushed in that last start against the Cardinals. So it would be Cubs or pass, believe it or not, but I'm going to pass. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, this is an intriguing game. I think I'm going to pass too. I'm not going to go too big on Miley unless I hear something about him being injured. There's usually one start every year where a guy just gets tattooed. He's been solid all year, 11-5, just under 3 ERA. He's been the one consistent for me when I bet on the Reds. Obviously laying a price on the road. Cubs have won 7 in a row. Like everyone said, they've hit lefties lately. So yeah, it's a game I'm going to pass. I don't want to go against the Cubs, who are hot, plus money, dog here. And I think the Reds need this game. They obviously need the game big. I mean, they want this last wild card. So I think Miley will be better. I think this will be his 4th start against the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. this year. All have been pretty good. One, he gave up 3, nothing in 7 innings, and 2 in the other. So just a game I'm going to pass.
All right, the magical mystery tour, as the Beatles would say, of J Happ continues tonight as the Cardinals host the LA Dodgers. Looks like Corey Knebel is going to open the game for the Dodgers. It's going to be another one of their patented bullpen games tonight, and then Mitch White is going to be the primary pitcher after Knebel here for the Dodgers tonight. We've got the Dodgers minus 165 road favorites. 9 the total in this one. Tons of money's been pouring in from the opener on the Cardinals, believe it or not. Minus 210, and now they're minus 165 pretty much across the board in this one. I'm more interested now to go against that, maybe lay a run line with the Dodgers, because you think I'm going to trust J Happ after what I saw in his last start against against this Dodgers lineup? No. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 inning. For Happ against the Reds, 12-2 loss in that game. I know he was pitching a little bit better before that, but I don't trust him one bit to navigate this navigate through this Dodgers lineup. Mitch White, you could say he's been 3.49 ERA, not great, but I know it's a bullpen day for the Dodgers, and but they're used to this. They've still been able to win games like this in the past. They've become so accustomed to winning these type of games that I think you really do see them being able to patch their way through a game like this and have success. I was actually on the Dodgers run line yesterday against St. Louis. Good bounce back after losing to San Francisco in the finale on Sunday with Scherzer and Michaelis yesterday.
Scherzer's dominant
with the Dodgers yesterday. I would lean to the Dodgers here run line. I am not in this parade of bettors that have lined up to take the Cardinals here at this plus price. Not with J Happ, not with my money. I would only look Dodgers here, and I'd probably go run line if anything. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, me too. I'm a little bit surprised. We all know that at times the Dodgers can struggle against lefties, but we've talked about it before. That's kind of in the past, but they can still get in slumps like that from time to time. I can't back Happ here today. Wind's blowing out. I'd be on the first 5 half run with the Dodgers. What was it? Steve Book. I think that's a good look. Dodgers first 5 team total over 2.5. It's minus 110. I think that's a solid look as well. And who knows? Cardinals, it's obviously a bullpen day. Dodgers bullpen has been pretty good all year. Total could get over, so I'd lean over in this one. We could see some runs.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll see some runs as well. Yeah, sunburn yesterday at the football game, Gabe Martinez. Yeah, I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. I said, you know what? I can't hide it. It's here and it's in plain sight. I got to address it right at the beginning of the show that, yeah, we had a sunburn yesterday at the football game. But my bad. I didn't put sunscreen on, and that's my fault. I deserve what I get. You got to be smarter than that. You got to know it's a day with the sun. The sun was never behind the clouds once that entire afternoon yesterday. You got to use your noodle every now and then and figure it out that, hey, the sun's going to be out. It's the high UV rays, even though it wasn't humid. And if you're exposed to it for 3 hours sitting there in the stands in a wide open stadium and during a football game, you're going to pay the price for it with your skin. And that's exactly what's happened here. But that's okay. Put a little aloe vera on it. Feeling a little bit better. It's taking some of the sting of the burn away. No doubt about it. We'll be fine. Tough son of a gun.
Right back on the job. Yeah. Sunburn. He's right back.
Well, of course,
right back after the burn.
It's not like I'm dying
joking. Yeah, he just
or something. It's just a little sunburn. So we can live through it. We can manage, and that's exactly why we're back on the show today. No problem. Doing the show here through this. All right, Seattle and Houston. We've got Logan Gilbert, Jake Odorizzi on the mound. Houston minus 170 home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Logan Gilbert, I guess inconsistency has plagued him a lot, obviously, throughout the course of the year. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fares in this one. He pitched great in his last start, but can I get that tonight from Logan Gilbert? I don't know. He's capable of being absolutely outstanding and on top of his game. And then there's other instances where he struggled. And let's not forget, before that last start of his, which was very good, he did have a really rough patch and struggled multiple starts in a row for this Mariners team. So that's going to be the question. Can he really get a little bit more consistency game to game? Can he follow it up what he did last time out, which was against this same Houston team, 5 innings of shutout ball. I'm not so sure, and I think you would expect the Astros to make some adjustments because the Astros have faced Gilbert twice. They got shut out in the last start, but then 2 starts ago, August 21st, they smashed him for 9 runs in 4.2 innings. So which Gilbert are we going to see? Probably the answer is somewhere in between, you would think, in this game tonight. Odorizzi, he actually faced the Mariners in that same start. These two pitchers opposed each other September 1st, and Odorizzi was good as well. 1 run, 2 hits, 5 innings. Rather than pick a side in this game, I like over 8.5. You got 2 pitchers that I don't think are going to be as sharp this time around. They're just seeing the same pitcher. The Mariners seeing Odorizzi. The Astros seeing Gilbert the second time in just 6 days. I know that lineups got shut down by these 2 pitchers 6 days ago. I was stunned by that because I know I was on the over in that game. I'm going to come back to it here. 8.5, better approach, better adjustments. The lineups have more success. I like over 8.5 here in this one. Astros and Mariners. Conor, Mac, what do you like in this one?
Yeah, what are we going to get? What Gilbert are we going to get? The guy who just got ripped for 9 runs, or September 1st gave up nothing. You talked about Odorizzi 6 days later. I go that they hit these guys. I mean, just 6 days later, they just saw him. But like I said, I've had no good feel on Mariner Astro games. When I go, this game's an under, it's gone over. They score a ton of runs early, like last night. I wasn't on the under, but throughout this, I just haven't been right on these at all. I still think there's a little value with the Mariners. Maybe the Mariners team total. Astros have struggled with their team total. But yeah, it could get over 8.5. I think they're not as good as they were 6 days ago. And they get touched up a little bit. So I lean over the 8.5 on the total.
Yeah, I think you've got these guys that are capable of, making that adjustment, these 2 lineups. It's not like Odorizzi certainly is not a world beater. I think Gilbert's going to be really, really good in time, but he's clearly still working through that first-year rookie, up and down, inconsistent roller coaster. Right? Hell, even Manoah.
Yeah, they're seeing him again. Yeah. Lineups are seeing him again, and he's working through lots of more innings. So yeah.
And more importantly than just that premise of we think the hitters will make their adjustments, seeing these pitchers for the second time in 6 days, it's also where the total is, like 8.5. We're not asking for a huge slugfest here. If both teams get to 4 runs, they can go over that number. It's a reasonable number there, 8.5 with that total. So we'll see if these lineups can adjust a little bit and have a little bit better performance at the plate tonight against both Odorizzi and Gilbert. All right, next game on the slate here, San Francisco Giants and the Colorado Rockies. We've got Logan Webb here on the mound for the Giants, and then we got You Better Come Home, Chichi Gonzalez back on the mound again for the Colorado Rockies. San Francisco minus 225, road favorites, 11.5 the total in this one. I was on the Rockies yesterday. Bad bet there. I thought Freeland at a good home underdog price. Giants off the big series against the Dodgers, traveling to Colorado, just flat spot. And Freeland had been pitching pretty well consistently for the Rockies. Not yesterday. Rough day for him yesterday against the Giants. And I'm not backing Chichi Gonzalez. That's for damn sure. And lots of money is poured in on the Giants. And one thing the Giants have just consistently been able to do this year is it looks like we've lost Conor Mack. We'll get him back in just a sec. But one thing they've done consistently, the Giants this year, win baseball games with Logan Webb pitching. I mean, do you want to dare go against him right now pitching the way he has for this team at the moment? I'm not so sure. But definitely when you look at it here, 2.56 ERA overall for Logan Webb, 3.41 ERA on the road. How can you argue with 16-4 for the Giants in his 20 starts this year? Logan Webb 7-4 in his 11 road starts. They just won games. They just win. Just win, baby. Al Davis said that years ago. Just win, baby. Well, that's exactly what the Giants are doing right now with Webb on the mound for this Giants team. So to me, it's not a game I'm betting, but as much as I've liked back in Colorado at home, Giants are the better team. They've got the much more trustworthy arm on the mound in this game. They should get the job done. I'm gonna end up staying off this game. And he's actually, pitched a gem against the Rockies the last time he faced them. Logan Webb, 6 innings, 3 hit shutout ball, 7-0 Giants win. However, it is interesting to note, started at Coors Field on May 5th, started at Coors this year, started at Coors Field September 2nd last year. And in those 2 games, Logan Webb gave up 10 runs in just, 9 innings. So be careful. Logan Webb has had a little bit of a tough time in this ballpark. If I could fully trust the Rockies to hit him, I'd maybe look over, because I think the Giants will get their runs against Chi-Chi. But the current form for Webb is outstanding. And how many times have I said where if the current form is overriding the way the past history against a certain team or pitching in a certain ballpark is, that I'm going to defer to the current form. And the current form right now for Logan Webb is terrific. So I'm not banking on, just because he got ripped in Colorado in May this year or September last year, that he's going to get ripped tonight. His form is very good right now, Logan Webb, and I'm not going against that Logan Webb current form right now. We got C-Mac back. What do you like here? Giants, Rockies.
Yeah, I'd lead the Giants run line, but I think I'm going to be off this one. Yeah, Logan Webb's had trouble in this ballpark, like you just talked about. Hampson's 5 for 12, Story's 5 for 14, 11 for 5, McMahon 4 for 12, 5 for 10, Tapia. But he's been so good. He's been the one kind of off losses. He's been the one really consistent, I think, even better than Gossman has been Logan Webb. He's been filthy all year. So it's a big price. You got to lay it for the run line. The Rockies, I don't know. They could have some magic. They could be a live dog here if they can get some runs off Webb. He's just been so good. But good pitchers sometimes go to Colorado to not to die, but to have a bad start. So I'd be leery of this one. Obviously, I like the Giants, but I'm probably just going to stay off.
I agree with that. I mean, that does concern me, those couple rough starts against at Coors Field for Logan Webb. But I'm telling you right now, I think Logan Webb's current form is great. And we've seen examples of this where, look at go back again to our boy Senzatella. There's a couple other instances too that just recently where the current form is good for a pitcher. The track record in the ballpark or against that lineup hasn't been good, but the current form's sizzling, and the guy's current form has won out. The guy has pitched well, even though some past numbers indicate struggle against that particular team and in a particular ballpark. And there are numbers that point that out here for Logan Webb, but the current form's too good. And, so if he were to get hit, I wouldn't be shocked because of his past struggles. But if he's rolling again tonight and pitching well again tonight, that wouldn't shock me. In fact, that wouldn't shock me at all. In fact, I'd expect him to pitch well tonight. So that's why I'm going back and forth and why I'm staying off the game. So just giving you a little sense inside not that you want to be inside my head at any point, but that's a little sense of going inside my brain and what I was thinking there when it comes to this game. That's basically me talking out loud just now what my thought process was for this game tonight, which is how I ended up saying, no, I'm not going to get involved in it. We move on to the next game, Texas and Arizona. Jordan Lyles on the mound it's going to be Howard here for the Texas Rangers. Spencer Howard, Zach Gallen for Arizona. We've got Arizona minus 160 home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. I'm almost out of principle thinking about taking Texas here in this game because, my gosh, minus 160 here with Arizona. I'm not sure I'm ready to saddle up with. In fact, I know I'm not ready to saddle up with that. But unfortunately, Spencer Howard, man, 5 runs, 2 innings against Seattle in his last appearance. Not good at all for this team. You're going to see a lot of Texas bullpen. The primary pitcher is going to be Jordan Lyles following Spencer Howard. That is a combination that is toxic to your health. It's toxic to your bankroll potentially as well. Back in those 2 stiffs coming out of the gate here to start this game. And I want no part of a Jordan Lyles combination at the beginning of this game. And say what you will about Gallen and last 3 starts have been better for him. He's given up just 3 earned runs in his last 18 innings of work, Connor Mack. 5 runs, but only 3 of them were earned against San Diego, Philadelphia, Colorado. So he's pitched a lot better lately. The bottom line is, on the surface, you think, geez, what's Arizona doing laying this much? And you could still say this is a big price for Arizona to be laying, but then you start to dig in a little deeper, knowing it's Spencer Howard and Jordan Lyles carrying the mail for Texas on the bump tonight. Then you can start to envision, and Gallen's been better lately, and then you can start to figure out why Arizona's favored in this game. So But I'm not at this price. Just still too rich for my blood to lay this much with Arizona. So I'm going to pass. Maybe what you could do is Arizona team total, right? Their team total is 4.5. I could see them maybe getting up and over that team total. I mean, this is a really rough starting pitching combination that Texas is rolling with tonight between Spencer Howard and Jordan Lyles. You know that thing one and thing two. What was that from? Thing one and thing two. I think Dr. Seuss book, Cat in the Hat, right? This is stiff one and stiff two going on the mound tonight here for the Texas Rangers. Spencer Howard and Jordan Lyles, and I want no part of them. I think Arizona team total. I actually might bet that. It does make sense. I think they could maybe get to 5. What do you think, Conor Mac? Texas, Arizona.
Yeah, they might. Rangers 2 big wins. I'd only lean them here plus 150, just value. I think Gallen shouldn't be minus 160. Rangers have hit a little bit. Their pitching's been pretty good. I don't trust the D-backs. Yeah, I looked at this over 8. This could be an end game. But if you really don't trust Howard and then Lyles, Gallen, who's been better lately, but he's a guy that I was higher on, and he was bad early on in the year. He started to pitch better. I lean over 8 a little bit. That's all. It's an 8. And it's there because the Rangers have a tough time scoring, and their pitching's been well. But I lean over, maybe an in-game over here in this one.
All right, lean into the over, Conor Mac. All right, 7th inning stretch time. We have just looks like 2 games left on the slate, the late night West Coast games. We'll get to those in just a sec, but we want to shout out everybody in the chat as we always do. 7th inning stretch, 178 live viewers. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, share the video. Michael Robertson, Kenny V, Josh Pekosh, Brian Watson, LJ from H-Town, Ross Pitts, Aaron A, Harold Williams, DX Filer. We appreciate everybody here. Can't Get Right, Nate Dogg 420, Billy Pilgrim, Gabe Martinez, Eric Jones, The Real DJX, Danzo, Steve's Book, Stimmy OG, Kenny V, Mr. Bubbles, Cheshire Cat, Big show behind the scenes. We appreciate everybody here. Gabe Martinez, PRS full. Can't Get Right. Everybody else in the Deacon Mike, Rodney Barton, Joe Free. Appreciate everybody. Whack Prescott. Ian to the IL. Not a chance. I'm not missing a show for a little sunburn. No way. No IL for this guy. Sanka. What is that? Coffee? Sanka Coffee? Oh, no, with a G. Okay, I remember Sanka. It was an old coffee company way back in the day. Damon Santore, we appreciate it. I think we got everybody. Yes. Thanks for tuning in and joining us here on the MLB Closing Time Show. Let's go to our last 2 games. Chicago White Sox, Oakland Athletics. We've got Jimmy Lambert on the mound here for the White Sox, James Kaprelian for the Oakland Athletics. Oakland here minus 135. In this one, the total 9 shaded to the under in this game. The Oakland Athletics, who are trying to somehow pick themselves up off the mat following just a devastating series against the Blue Jays. I mean, you talk about finding new ways to lose, bullpens blowing games. They fall behind big, nearly come back, only to fall short, and then they just get whipped in the final game of that Jays series. That was an ugly one over the weekend. For this Oakland team. I'm not laying a price with Oakland right now. Just can't. I mean, I don't like their bullpen is falling apart. Honestly, I mean, the rise and the fall of this Oakland bullpen, it really is stunning because we're talking about this being one of the better bullpens in baseball last year, 2 years ago. And now all of a sudden they can barely get any outs together in the latter innings of these games. They're really struggling to close the door late in games right now. We've got Jimmy Lambert on the mound here for the Chicago White Sox. We'll see how he fares here in this one. He's bounced back and forth this year, AAA to the major leagues, 4.98 ERA for him. Down in the minors this year, though, that's not necessarily that great by any stretch of the imagination. And Kaprelian, to be honest with you, continues to be pretty respectable, reasonable, solid for the most part for the A's, although the last 2 starts, you worry about, look, he's pitched a lot of innings, more than he's accustomed to. Wearing down now as we get into the last month of the season. That's definitely possible that we're starting to see that with him. So he's 10 runs scored against Kaprelian in the last 2 starts that he's made, 10 runs in 9 innings. Not good against Detroit or the Yankees before that. I would lean over. I would lean White Sox here at the plus price as well in this one. I would lean to both of those. And look, Oakland's an over team right now. the offense, even though Olsen and Chapman and Canna and some of these hitters have been in and out of cold streaks lately, it's still a capable lineup, and their pitching's just a little bit in shambles right now. Starting pitching's kind of, even from Caprellion, one of their better arms, has struggled lately. The bullpen is just not any good at the moment. So you might see runs scored in this game. I lean White Sox at the plus price and the over here at 9 between these two teams. What do you think, Connor Mack? White Sox, A's?
Yeah, I think Caprellion might be hitting the wall. And his problem is those last few starts really is the walks and then the long ball. He gave up 3 to the Yankees, 2 to the Tigers. That's been real trouble for him. Yeah, I'd only want the White Sox here. A's are just struggling all the way around. I know they hit a little bit, but their bullpen's horrible. Their pitching's been bad. The White Sox have struggled a bit lately. It seems like they score a shit ton of runs or they can get shut out. So I don't trust them a crazy amount. I don't know if I want to go first 5. I might as well full game with his A's shitty bullpen, but I'd only be on the White Sox with the plus money here. And I believe it's Razor's Gambler's First Glance. So after we're done here, check out his video on the White Sox. I think it is. I better not be wrong. I thought I saw it.
Yeah, that he's on that game. Or is he on the White Sox specifically?
Yeah, that's his Gambler's First Glance.
Very
I'm
good.
pretty sure. Someone give me he wrote it just earlier in the chat. So.
All right. Well, very good. That means I'm in agreement, because that would be the side I'd look at here as well, the White Sox. Again, Oakland off a road trip. I know they got the day off. That's going to help. No question about that, that they had the day off. Maybe they hit the reset button. They need something, to snap them out, because, look, the playoffs are slipping away from them. I mean, the Blue Jays are getting closer to the Red Sox and the Yankees right now than Oakland is. And so they need to stop the bleeding in the worst way, but I don't like the form. Caprellion's gone downhill a little bit the last 2 starts, and you got to lay $135. Not me. That's why I lean White Sox here as well as over the total. Next up, final game of this slate: LA Angels, San Diego Padres. Packy Naughton and Blake Snell, the pitching. Packy. Or packing heat or packing nothing. We'll find out. We got San Diego minus 320. Home favorites, 8 the total in this one. Just obviously, you're seeing the Padres a pretty insane money line price that they're laying here with Blake Snell on the mound, who has actually pitched well at home all season here for the Padres. This is where he's done his best work. 2.49 ERA at Petco Park this year. We do have to give Blake Snell credit in that the last 6 starts, they look more like the Blake Snell that was winning the Cy Young a few years ago. He's been a lot better the last 6 starts. He's allowed 1, 0, 2, 3, 1, 0 in his last 6 starts. He's been much better, much more effective, and it's been good to see him bounce back. Certainly the Padres happy to see him bounce back. We'll see if he can keep it going for them tonight. Packy Naughton on the other side for the Angels. Struggled in his last start against the Yankees. 3 runs, 6 hits, 3.2 innings. Not exactly someone I'm going to rely on, or the Angels bullpen that follows after him to get outs here right now. But on the flip side, obviously minus 320 with this erratic San Diego team is not exactly, I'm not lining up to win this kind of number with San Diego. Even though they had a nice series against Houston, give them credit. Played a good Astros team, won 2 of 3. Took 2 or 3 from Arizona before that. So little bit by bit, some tiny steps forward for this Padres team, playing at least somewhat better baseball the last 6 games or so. We'll see if they can keep it going. They should win this game, but for me, it's a pass. I'm just not seeing any sort of value. Do run line, money line, even first 5. No value to be had for me with this Padres team, even though I think they're probably the side that wins this game. What do you think, Connor Mack, Angels, Padres?
Yeah, Packy kind of was just hum-ho in that first start against the Yankees. 3 2/3. He gave up 3 runs, 2 walks. He did pitch 4 innings out of the pen August 27th against San Diego. There's just no freaking way. Snell's been a lot better, minus 320. I think first 5 plus 260. I can't have the Angels bullpen, but I'd grab them at plus 260. I think that price is huge. Huge. So I got to take it at plus 260. And even the Angels, team total over 2.5, minus 110. If you think they can get 3 runs, you could go with that as well. So too big a price. Give me the Angels, who can't hit a lick right now. Just too big a price.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do in games like this. You either have to get creative to back the Padres in some form, or you got to take just a shot here with the big underdog and hope for the best. And that's what we're hoping for. You're hoping for here with the Angels here in the first 5 innings. It's just that Padres lineup, you just can't fully, trust them game in and game out during these last month or two. That they just don't give the Blake Snell the run support that he needs. So that's what you're hoping for, and you're also going to have to hope for Packy Naughton to be better than he was in his last start, because the Yankees start was definitely a little bit of a tough one for him. All right, great stuff with Conor back. Good to be back. Me personally, good to be back on the MLB show today on this Tuesday. Thanks to everyone in the chat. 183 live viewers. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't already. We'll get to best bets and Jack of the Day in just a second. But first, we'll pause for messages from both Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke at Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports. You know the deal. Lawnmower 4.0 and any Manscaped product available on the site. Go get it. Get 20% off your purchase with the promo code PubSports at manscaped.com. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season. Look, we already have had college football now for a couple of weeks. We're CFL, of course, has been going for a month, but now the Shield is back. The National Football League returns Thursday night, season opener. Get signed up before the Thursday night kickoff opener for the NFL season. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports, a Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it is that time. Best bets in just a sec. But first, time for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
All right, Jack of the Day now for this Tuesday MLB card. Definitely interested in looking at a couple of Atlanta players. Austin Riley, Freddie Freeman, Swanson Dinners, Adam Duvall. They've all hit a home run against Espino. I think you could go in that direction tonight as well. So any of those candidates for Jack of the Day. Tyler Naquin of the Reds has a 3-for-4 and a home run track record against Adrian Sampson of the Cubs. So that's another one I would look at for a Jack of the Day. Christian Yelich has a home run against Nola and 8-for-20, 400 average against him. So there's someone you could target for a home run prop tonight in this game. In that one, a couple of Mariners even against Jake Odorizzi, especially Kyle Seager and Mitch Haniger. They both hit multiple home runs against Jake Odorizzi. So there's a couple you could go with tonight as well. I think that's pretty much about it for Jack of the Day. We'll stop there. I gave you a bunch. I like all of those that I mentioned. Connor Mack, what do you think here for Jack of the Day tonight?
Yeah, I mentioned McCutchen earlier. The value's okay. It's like plus around 360. I'm going to take the Tigers, Candelario, plus 650. Juan Soto, my guy, plus 450. And Ryan McMahon for the Rockies, plus 500, 5 for 11 with a home run off Logan Webb. He goes Jack tonight.
All right, it is time for best bets here. And I had a miracle best bet winner on Sunday. And that was actually the game I had a sweep on Sunday with all my bets, but that was the one I was closest to losing, was the best bet. On Sunday's show was the Rays minus a half a run in the first 5 innings, and they were down like 4-2, and they got 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th against Minnesota that day, and they led 5-4 after the 5th inning. So good to see that one get there for best bets. So we'll see if we can keep it going. Connor Mack, what do you like for your best bet tonight?
They got drubbed yesterday And I don't trust the guy on the road in Aaron Nola. Give me the Brewers full game, minus 105, 107, right around there. Brew Crew win today.
All right, there you go. Milwaukee Brewers to get the job done against the Philadelphia Phillies. Best bet for Conor Mack. You can get that around minus 105, minus 106. Very cheap price there, and a good bounce back spot for the Brewers. I like that one as well. But for my best bet, I'm going to go to the game between the let me just see here. A tough decision. I'm going back and forth here with the two overs that I'm going back and forth on. I can only make one a best bet. Or do I go with two? Let's do two. Yeah, I missed yesterday's show, so we could say this was the make up for missing yesterday's show. I'll give you two MLB best bets for tonight. We're going to go Rays Red Sox over 9.5. Minus 110, and we're going to go with Mariners Astros over 8.5, minus 115. Two overs. Let's see if we can get the 2-0 sweep. Tampa Bay Boston over 9.5. Seattle Houston over 8.5. There you go. Two best bets for the price of one show, I guess you could say, with the Tuesday MLB card right here on the MLB Closing Time Show. All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show for Tuesday, September 7th. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Again, 182 live viewers. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. Definitely, we appreciate all the support. And we will be back with you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the MLB Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio. And don't forget about Jimmy's Beat the Line show, getting you ready for NFL this week with Bebsy. Get ready for that. So make sure you check that out tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Conor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday for another edition of the MLB Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio.